Hi, I'm Mr. Saltzman, and I'm here to talk to you about perspective. So you might be asking yourself, what is perspective? To put it simply, it's understanding how other people see something. It's also understanding how other people think about things. Uh, I still don't get it. Let's start with visual perspective. We all can look at the same thing and see something different. Let's try a few examples.
Listen, little donkey. Take a look at me. What am I?
Really tall?
No! I'm an ogre.
I want you all to look at this picture for a few seconds. Many of you might see a black candle holder or a candelabra. Many of you might see two white faces staring at each other. Take a moment and make your brain switch back and forth between the black candle holder and the white faces. Now I'm going to make your brains work a little harder and have you stare at this picture for a few seconds. Some of you may see a younger woman turning her head away so we only see her ear, her jawline, and the tip of her nose. Some of you may see a close-up of an old woman and the side of her face with a very large nose and a very pointy chin. Again, take a few seconds and see if you can make your brain switch back and forth between the young woman looking away from us and the old lady looking down. Here's one more picture. Many of you might have seen a woman's face right away. But if you take a moment, look at the details of the picture, and you'll realize that parts of the woman's face are made up of other parts of the picture, such as the horses, the bird, and the mountains in the distance. Now, I want to take a few moments to talk about thinking perspective. Sometimes it can be very closely related to seeing perspective, but here are some examples of how thinking perspective can be different. Take a moment to use your eyes to make sense of what it is you're seeing. A man in a business suit looking at his watch and riding some sort of public transportation, maybe a bus or a train. Also on this picture, you can see a thinking bubble or a thought bubble. Take a moment and come up with some possible thoughts this man may be having. Maybe this man is thinking, will I make it home in time for the game? I wonder what time I'll be eating lunch today. Man, I really like this watch I got for Christmas. Here's another picture. Let's practice thinking perspective a little more. Here we see a young girl with her dog, a man and a veterinarian, or an animal doctor. Each one of these characters or people have a different thinking perspective on what it is they see in front of them. The young girl might be thinking, I hope Puppy's going to be okay. Or, I wish Dad didn't step on her foot. Or, it's okay, Puppy, you'll be just fine. Here's a picture of the dad. Maybe he's thinking, oh man, this is gonna cost me an arm and a leg. Or, man, I wish I hadn't stepped on Puppy's paw. Or, oh, Mom's gonna be so mad when she finds out. Lastly, here's a picture of the veterinarian or animal doctor. She might be thinking, first day on the job and I'm already helping animals. Or, don't worry, little girl, your puppy will be just fine. Or, I can't believe that guy stepped on this dog's paw. Here's one more picture to practice some thinking perspective. Take a few seconds to allow your eyes to make sense of what it is you're seeing. We can see the boy is clearly happy in this photo. He can be thinking, I love a good fall day. Or, oh man, this is my favorite song. Or, once that lady pays me, I'm going to go out and buy myself a new game. In this picture, we can see the girl is quite upset. She might be thinking, I'm doing all the work and he's taking his sweet old time. Or, man, I really wish I remembered my music. Or, I totally forgot I have to do a big report for school tonight. Lastly, we see the older lady in the doorway watching the two kids in the yard. She might be thinking, oh, those two kids are so nice cleaning up my yard. Or, so now let's talk to you about a few things. Social expectations, social cues, and now perspective. All of these things work together for social awareness. I've shown you visual perspective, how we can look at something different. I've shown you examples of thinking perspective, and I gave you different examples and many different kinds of thoughts for each one of those characters, just so you can think about that there might be more than one way to look at something and more than one way to think about something. So when it comes to perspective, you need to start thinking of some of these kinds of questions. What might my friends be thinking? How do the people around me feel, and why do they feel that way? What is my mom thinking, my brother thinking, my sister thinking, my teacher thinking? There can be lots of things people are thinking, but what makes the most sense? Sometimes people think differently than me, and that's okay. So that's it. There's a lot more that can be said when it comes to perspective, but at least it's a start. So have a great day, have a great week, and see how you can get better at perspective. See you later.
That was awesome.